Good morning. Welcome to Member Focus Monday. I'm Christina Schaefer, Social Media Manager for HAR. I'm joined virtually by our Chief Technology Officer, Taqi Rizvi. Good morning, Taqi.
Good morning, Christina.
Thank you for joining me this morning. I know you're a very busy man, and we'll talk all about what you've been up to lately in just a minute. I do want to let everyone know before we get started that today's Member Focus Monday and this week's HR on the Move podcast are sponsored by Energy Ogre. With more people staying home than ever before, I know I've seen it, I'm sure you've seen it, our electricity bills are going up. So now is a good time to check and see if you could save using their energy calculator. You can find it on energyogre.com. We'll talk more about them later. But for now, good morning, Taqi. Good morning again.
Good morning.
So I wanted to welcome you, and we've talked about this before, but people refer to you as MrHAR.com. Why is that, Taqi?
This is the kindness of Bob Hale, who just started calling me that. And again, I think it's a teamwork. We have a great team at HAR who work. Some are in my department, some are just other departments. And again, so it's a group effort, but definitely it started as a joke. So,
but I think it makes sense. So, so if you could, you already explained a little bit about what you do, but if you could just introduce yourself for maybe a member who has not heard from you before.
So, good morning, everyone. I just wanted to say, Christina, thank you for the opportunity. And one of the things which I'm responsible for is to come up with product and services which can help our members. And so whatever we design have one premise is that how is it helping our members? So I'm responsible for coming up with ideas, suggestion, and of course most of the ideas are from some of the troubles people are having or situation changes like we are in these days. So when there's a lot of changes happening, and sometimes that's where you find the best of the opportunities.
Very good. Actually, I was going to ask you, where do you get so many ideas? You said that part of it is you notice what members are struggling with and try to fix that.
Sure. One of the things we try to do, it is on multiple fronts, right? So one are, how can we help them make money? How we can make them profitable, right? So in that you are talking about coming up with ideas, okay, how they can share the properties, promote the properties and sell it, and then how they can promote themselves. And in that is also very wide variety. We have agents who are very successful agents, okay, how we are helping them, how we are helping buyer agents, how we are helping listing agent. So here, this is all related to looking at these from perspective of, what is the best thing we can do to make them successful. Then on the other side is how we can save them time. So when IABS forms was required, we kind of did not look back and say, well, it's something agent have to deal with this. We said, look, so many members have to fill out that forms. Why don't we just come up with a way that can save them time? So we created the IBS forms, which most of you are using on your signatures, and it's pre-populated. So when you change company, you don't need to do anything. The link automatically changes. And it may look like a very simple idea, but if you look at and multiply by number of members, 30,000 plus members who have to kind of go and change that every time they make changes to their office and all of that, all automated completely. So this was in the area of productivity.
Right.
So we get from perspective and all of that.
That's wonderful.
Some are just sheer inconvenience, friction people have. I'll give you an example of one thing we just did was photo description. All right. Photo description was inside Matrix. Matrix is a great system, and kudos to Sean, who have been like really on top of the vendor working on making sure it's actually working perfectly and doing all things. But sometimes these softwares have its own limitations as well. So it had like an agent had to go through 5 different clicks. And I was working with one of the agents, and he said, look, Taqi, this is very difficult for us to do, you to go to this. And I know Sean had mentioned this to me before as well. So what we did is we said, okay, why don't we come up with a way that can allow them to put all the description, just by putting that in. And so they were able to just go in one place. And if you guys have not used that, it is the best thing called the subscription chain.
Yeah.
Try that. That is the best way to do that as well. So apologize.
Very
Uh,
good.
so that is an area of how we can solve a problem members are having, and then the other ones are it's really sometimes very challenging to come up with. See, as an association, most of us, when we are asked to look at the solutions, we are looking at the solutions from that. Okay, is this something going to be easier to for us to do? And again, I'm very honest with you, it is a question that comes up to your mind that, hey, are we adding a lot of more work to ourselves and are we doing? But I've always looked at this from this. If we can do extra work, if we can do hard work, do difficult things, then what we'll do, it will make things easier for our members. So we just kind of go into that and try to help them with this. And this virtual open houses and the 3D thing, what we are working on, I mean, these are part of those efforts which are definitely difficult things to do, some of them. We feel that is this something going to help our members, and definitely. So we do the hard work, we do the effort to make it happen.
That's wonderful. And I know our members appreciate it. I see some comments coming through thanking you for that. And somebody said that they've spoken with you a lot and that you are very patient. So they definitely appreciate all you and your team are doing. And we actually already have some questions coming in about some of the things that you and your team are doing. So I see Andrew had a question that I will definitely be getting to. Andrew, he said, sorry, I don't know if this is a part of the discussion, but I will be getting to that. So let's just get into it for some of our members who maybe don't know what you've been working on. Again, you just said it. You're trying to alleviate problems. You're trying to help our members. You're trying to make our members set them up to be successful. You've been working on a lot of things. So tell me some of the things that you've been working on to help our members adapt to this virtual world we're in.
So with the situation now where it's very difficult for people to go and look at houses, and our members really feel like their sellers are getting like that. Look, can we do something? How we can promote the property and all of that. So one of the things was that, okay, why don't we look at this just like when employees are able to work remotely and function, is it a way we can actually enable members to do the same thing as when it comes to showing the properties when they can do that. So one of the great marketing effort which is our program is open house system. So we looked at that okay, if agents can have open houses where unlimited people can actually come virtually and be part of that, how great that would be, right? So, well, we looked into that. So we look at that, okay, well, what if they do it, just go live with Facebook, for example, or to go live with YouTube? Well, the problem with some of these platforms is, yes, you can do that. But what it is, when you are, for example, on Facebook, you are going live with Facebook, it allows people to look at you, whoever is watching and asking questions. All their questions are visible to everyone who's going on there. And, Christina, you are expert in that. So you kind of showed us actually that, look, there's no way for users to watch a live stream and hide the people who are watching it, because it's a competitive world, and some of the agents don't want to have other people to look at, who else is also looking at these houses and kind of solicit them for their own properties or for other reason. So that's where really we said, look, these are not the platforms we can help use. You can use them, but it would not be effective as much as we want to. So we undertake a responsibility. We said, okay, we want to build a system which allow that to do virtual. And so now the solution we have out to your question is called virtual open houses. Okay, right now, virtual open houses, you go to the virtual open house. You set it up when you want to do it. The minute you do it, it's promoted on hr.com, so you will see it's coming on the listing and all of that, right? And then from there, a person can actually go and see what time is it, come there, or they can set themselves a notification, and they will receive a notification, and that notification will tell them that, hey, it's about to start. They go there, and the agent on the other side, just using HAR app, right, can say, hey, I wanted to go live, right, and start broadcasting.
Mm-hmm.
And they go there and start broadcasting, and that will allow people to look at it. Of course, whenever you design any system, it has its own requirements, it has its own challenges, but that's how we kind of come up with this idea of how do we help our members so effectively. So now agents are, it's amazing. I'll tell you that I received such a great feedback from people who started doing the beta testing of that.
Mm-hmm.
That includes like people like Jill Smith, Christina Abney, Oscar, and others who are testing this as a beta tester and now making it better for other members who are going to use the system. So kudos to them, and for their willingness to kind of try out these things and do that. So we definitely see that system will get better for members to do virtual open houses.
Very good. So you mentioned the beta team. How can members join that beta team?
So again, I think we had thanks to everyone, we got an amazing response from the last webinar we had. And a lot of you have signed up and become, and some of you who wanted to join it, just have a good news for you. You don't need to join it. This week, by the end of this week, we will push the app to the App Store. That's my goal for Android and iOS. So you will be set with having an actual app. And again, as I mentioned to you, a lot of tweaks, a lot of changes, and which have been in place thanks to the feedback we are getting. And so right now, almost there's no need to be on beta. Just be patient a few days, and you should have access to the real app, and which is going to be very improved and will remove some of the bugs. That's what we're doing today in this few days to do that.
So that was my next question, is when will this be available to all our members? And I know our members are really wanting to get their hands on it.
Absolutely.
So I do want to show just a really quick example. Jill, that you mentioned, she did do a virtual open house a few days ago, and it was about 9 minutes long. We kind of cut it down for our purposes, just so everybody can see, but I will provide the link where everybody can see all of these. So let me show this really quick.
And a half bath home. So this is the outside of the home. So as you can tell, it's a 2-story entryway with a beautiful staircase. The staircase does have wood treads on it and an upgraded spindle. As we walk on into the family room, again, we have a 2-story family room, upgraded ceiling fan that was upgraded by the homeowner. Extended area on the patio as well. This is perfect for your barbecues, your crawfish boils. It's a great entertainment area. Master bath, which is 2 vanities, a separate tub, a separate shower, and a huge walk-in closet. I hope you enjoyed this open house today, and I look forward to getting an offer soon. Thanks, you guys.
Setting up. So, agents, what we realize that when they are doing it, so now we are posted that when you are doing a virtual open house, make sure your phone is on Do Not Disturb. It's very important, because when you get interruptions like a text message or an email or a text message or a phone call, what it does, it stops streaming for to use this, and then what it to happen is you have to come back and restart it. So ideally, put it on Do Not Disturb. That way, it is completely you don't have any loss of uh, loss of connections and all of that. So
Yeah, and I do want to go over some of the guidelines. I have some questions from members. They were able to see Jill's example, and they're excited about it. They said they're looking forward to using it. So it says, well, actually, Nancy asked, could you go through the steps to add a virtual tour? We briefly mentioned that. We will be providing a ton of trainings and videos, and there's a guide that we're creating that walks you through it step by step. So Nancy, we will definitely be providing all of that for our members. Audrey asked, what will be the name of the app? This is not a separate app, correct, Taqi?
yeah, it's not a separate app. So there are two components of that. Is one part of that is the consumer to look at it, how they can watch the videos which are being recorded. And the other one is for agents to broadcast themselves, right? You set up an open house and you just want to press a button, and it's amazingly easy, okay? And this is the advantage of some of the software to build ourselves, because we know our audience, what it is, and we try to kind of make it simple. And if it's not simple, we'll make it simple. So that's why very important that we hear the feedback. And Christina, yourself and other instructors also provide remarkable feedback. And like I was with Richard Ortiz, and he was telling me, look, this is happening in Android. So we are kind of hearing their feedback and adjusting and making these changes. And that's just part of agile development, what we do.
Wonderful. Melissa asked, is this available to all members or only Platinum?
This is right now available to all members, but you will see that it will be something down the road will become Platinum.
Okay. So Jenny said you use the HAR app on your phone and video the house with your phone. Is that correct?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Correct.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So it's done with your phone. And again, Jenny and everyone asking, we will definitely be providing video tutorials and manuals and everything that you'll need to get started with this. It's actually pretty easy to do, but of course it will be a little bit of a learning curve for some. So Pam asked a great question here. Will the virtual open house be saved on the HAR site so potential buyers can view it later?
Absolutely. So when we look at this from solving problems, we also look at, as I mentioned to you, opportunities. So we said, look, how can we create leads for our members? One of the way we are doing it, exactly what Barbara was asking, pertaining to. So we will have that even if the open house is done, you can go in and you say, hey, let me see this it had an open house. You click it and you can actually at that time request that, hey, I'd like to get a copy of I'd like to see the video of the open house. Well, you put your contact information and then we will send that on behalf of the agent. And that will be another way to capture lead. Other one we have it, so users who are coming on the live chat video and watching the virtual open house can ask you questions. So when they ask you questions, they cannot, they have to fill in the form and submit it. So that's another lead capture which is built in. As I mentioned to you, let's suppose this is something they miss. They want to know when will be the next open house or virtual open house. So they can put their email, say, hey, notify me when you have the next one. So the minute agent adds that, we shoot an email or a text message to the consumer saying that, hey, it's going to be live, and when it's going to be live. So
okay, very good. Laura asked, will there be sound to the virtual tours? Hopefully you guys could hear Jill's there. Sorry if for some reason you couldn't hear it, but yes, there is sound. I want to quickly, because we are getting quite a few questions. Melody asked a question. A few other people asked questions.
Sorry, I missed that.
That I think would
say it again, please?
Be answered by the guidelines that you provided. So let's talk about the guidelines, because you did send me a slide with some guidelines that we can show people. So maximum of 30 minutes per virtual open house.
That's correct. That's correct. So you can do 2 open houses for a listing in 2 30-minute segments. So you can do the first one, for example, at 12 to 12:30. Then you can have a half an hour break, and then you do the next one, which can be from 1 o'clock to 1:30. The reason why it is important, and again, since this is new, so we've been making recommendations that, look, when you are actually doing the virtual open house, do it slowly. Don't finish it quickly. Try to do these things. But as you are doing these open houses, leave at the end, let the users know, hey, I'm here at the property. Now call me, and I will be glad to show you other stuff and provide you information. I'm available right here. My number is, this is my number. Contact me. So this is where I feel it's really, really important that that agents are also treating it as, how can I engage users who are on there. So you do that, and this is just like any open house. If you have it, you will go and contact, introduce yourself, and and things of that nature. So this same type of engagement you need to just do in the virtual world as well. And again, some of the other open houses are, just start just a little bit, few minutes before the event. So you are there, and just to let you know, because it's recorded, so even if nobody is there and that's what you go live, we tell users how many people are watching or are online waiting. So if there's, let's suppose you started, and this is, you will not have this problem, but if that happened where nobody is there, just remember there's a recording happening. So what you wanted to do is to take advantage of that time. So you start on time, you let the recording go, because you don't want somebody, if it recorded, let's suppose you said nobody is there, but you kind of looked that I'm not going to record anything, right? I'm not going to say anything because nobody is there. Don't, because otherwise that beginning of the video will be empty. So I would rather say, hey, this is a virtual open house. Yeah, we are here. Let me show you outside. So, just gotta prep up and do that. So that way, remember, there is a video being recorded for you that you can repurpose, use it for your advantage. Right. So so these are the type of things we recommend, and there are a few others as far as how the Wi-Fi need to be. Right. Some are guidelines of best practices, some are technical requirements.
Very good. And I'm going to put it up one more time. If everybody didn't get to see it earlier, you can maybe even take a quick screenshot of that or a photo of that. But of course, again, we will be distributing all of that to our members as well, those guidelines. Very good, Taqi. Our members seem really excited. They do have some questions about a few other things like the 360 camera and different things like that. So we will definitely get into all of that. Bincy asked, can we be on the HR app and stream on Facebook or StreamYard at the same time?
Well, one thing you can do is, because what we do is that, and I will give you an example of Kristen, what she did, which was amazing. So what she did, she actually created a Facebook post, and she created and boosted the post. So what happened is she posted there, so advance of the time, so reach out to people so they can see it and they can plan their day. So you can do like, okay, I want to do just this day and spend like $10, okay, $20, saying, okay, boost my, so you create a post on your business page, boost it. When you boost it, now the word goes out, anybody click it, instead of watching it on YouTube, on Facebook, they can click it and come watch on HR.com, where we created all lead captures, ways for you people to ask questions, and all that is recorded. So that's why we kind of did this extra efforts, just to make sure it's not only about stream, okay? Sure. Like it is about engagement, it's about lead generation, so all that.
That's great. And I get that question from members all the time. How do I get the leads from Facebook? And it's a little more complicated than that. So you've created that platform. Quick question here from Connie. Can the consumer see how many other people are viewing the open house?
How other people are
viewing? Can consumers see how many other people are viewing the open house?
No, they don't.
Very good.
We purposely don't do that because there's no value in this. If like 10 people are watching it, so okay, well 10 people are watching it. Again, we can do if this is something members want to do. And again, e-commerce, it has that where they show these type of numbers that, hey, 10 people are watching this product and all of that. In this one, what it is important that agent is available to answer your questions. If you have and it's showing, please call and contact them. So that's where I feel it is important. But yes, as an agent, you see exactly all the people who are watching, how many people are watching anonymously, how many people have joined it and asked you a question. So all that will be available to you.
So this question has been asked in a few different ways, and so I want to make sure that we do address it. Some people asked about, can I just, instead of doing it live, can I pre-record? Another question here that just came up from Kay was, can we post a live Facebook virtual that I did this past weekend? So she went live on Facebook and would like to repurpose that on the live platform.
Absolutely. So one thing which, as I mentioned to you, we work just as we get the feedback, we kind of move on. So one of the things, exactly what Kay was asking, is, so we said, okay, you've done the open house. What we'll do is now create a new lead capture, and this is something you will have it within this week. We create a lead capture. What we'll say, hey, I did an open house and I have a video recording. Would you like to watch the video recording? If you want to, so you can actually take that lead capture, post it on Facebook after the event, right? Or Twitter or Instagram, and when you do that, it will go to a lead capture where they had to provide their contact information before they can watch it. So we are building that, but we have the one which is you can promote it before the event, but now we are creating another lead capture which is after the event.
Very good.
That should be there, yeah.
Yeah. And that is, I can tell you from experience, that is where a lot of people get the views, is after the event. Very good. Okay, so obviously our members are really excited about this, but this is not all you've been working on, right? You've been busy with a lot of other things. So tell us about the virtual showing tool, and how is that different from virtual open house?
So in the virtual open house, you are broadcasting, and there are a bunch of people there, right? When it comes to virtual showing, you were talking about one-to-one, okay, where you can actually say, hey, I wanted to show you this house, and let's set up a showing. Just like a regular showing, you're setting up a showing, I'm going to the property at that time and showing. In this case, you are showing any property. It doesn't have to be your broker, your open house, or your company's open house. It can be any property. You can go and, hey, and let's suppose, let me tell you this. If there's a new market, for example, if there is a brand new property which just come on the market, you can just go in and go and show it to few agents, your few customers, or you can send it to all of them. Say, hey, I'm going to be showing this, and here's the link. You can come and watch it. So to kind of turn that into another type of open house. It's not an open house, but it's a showing, but which you can then share it to your customers across. Idea is that how you take this time which is available and use it productively to engage people, to get your name out in front of them.
Sure.
That would be, so that's one-on-one mainly, which is the core purpose of the virtual showing is. Open houses, one-to-many. And
it makes sense. In person, agents conduct themselves differently, whether it's an open house or a one-on-one showing. So it makes perfect sense. Allison had a multi-layered question here that I think would apply to both the open house and the showing. So I want to ask you what she had here. What happens to virtual open houses I make of another agent's listing once the listing goes into pending or sold status? Also, if another agent does a virtual open house of the same listing, how does that work?
So this is a great question. And again, I worked over the weekend to come up with a way to support hosted open houses. So you within your company can host any open house of another agent. And again, because you're doing it for another agent, their approval is required. So when we were doing this, some of the people said that can broker also get an opportunity to approve it. So think about this: you go in, you create an open house, you put an open house in there. If it's not your listing, there's a section will come which say seek permission to host, and it will show who's the listing agent. It will say that an email will go out to the listing agent and also to your broker for approval. Okay, so when you submit it, it's then that virtual open house is sort of in a pending stage at that time. It's not been approved. The minute the listing agent clicks on it and approve it, it goes live.
Okay, very good. Quick comment here from Nicole. So excited for all this. Nicole Lopez. Great job to Taqi, Danny, and team. Thank you for optimizing our platform to be the best in this new market. That's exactly right. It is a brand new market.
Yeah.
Hugo asked a question about doing an open house in Espanol.
I think that's a brilliant idea.
Yeah.
That's a good idea to do that.
Yeah,
So,
you definitely can. There's no limitation as far as our platform is concerned to do it in Spanish.
absolutely, absolutely. You know, as we progress, we can actually create creatives which are in the Spanish. So you can actually do a multilingual creatives. For example, creative meaning the artwork that is there to promote. So when you wanted to post something on Facebook, you really want to have a picture to promote it. You just don't want to type it. So we can actually create these creative in Spanish, for example, and do that. And this is great question. And Nicole is amazing. She always gives a great feedback, very positive, and very willing to. I learn a lot from the technology advisors from Thai, who actually provide a lot of guidance. It does an amazing job on helping us that, hey, do like this, do this way. So member input is great. Kat Robinson also been sending me, hey, we love to add some emotions to that. So add some icons like, love the property, and different type of emotion icons that you can actually add. And so these are the feedback. We listen to that and we apply as we move the path of improvement of the product or maturing of this product.
Very good. Or muy bien, muy bien. Quick question from Nicole before we get into some other things that you're doing. How does that process work for team leads wanting to do virtual open houses in their members listings? Will permission be required for team leaders?
Right now, that's a very good question. Again, I have to take.
He's writing it down, Nicole. That's a good sign.
So if you are part of a team, then what we can do is, so if you are part of a team, we know as a member you are part of a team, then you know how we give an option to CC the broker, will give you CC the team lead. And again, I think if the property belongs, we just have to, I'll call Nicole to get the clarity on that. But we wanted to make sure that if the email, the user can actually select that, hey, CC my team lead, right? So by default, it's going to be option available that if you are a team member, but I just have to kind of see that, do we need to seek a broker permission on that, or team lead can do that? I think it can, but I will just get some clarity on that, and I think it's a great idea.
Absolutely. Okay, just a quick clarification. Several members are asking to verify this is not a separate app. This is built into the HAR app. Correct?
Absolutely, okay. Absolutely.
Very good. And Bobby asked a quick question, is there a way to mute viewers if necessary? So I guess he means muting the comments.
Well, again, there's a mute that you can mute. For example, you heard some sound or something like that, and you want to turn it off and mute, you can mute that. But as people who are asking questions, do you want to mute them? You can hide messages and not read it. So what you can do is you can just kind of click it and say, I'm going to look at the question at the end. So you don't want to be distracted with that, and which I think it's a good idea.
Which is part of our best practice guides anyway.
Yeah, best practice, but you keep telling them that, please, I saw your questions which are coming in. I just want to let you know, let me finish it, and then I'll come back to that. So they're not thinking that, hey, the system is not working. So when somebody will go and post a question or just comes and fill out the form, you will see a message that for example, say Christina just joined. Okay, so you know Christina is there waiting to ask some questions, and that way you go back and answer that as you go through the open house process.
Excellent. Okay, I want to get into some other things, and a few people have asked questions about 3D, about the 3D cameras. People are specifically asking about the Ricoh camera that we mentioned last week, but we just want to put some clarity out there first, because there seems to be confusion about what exactly a 3D image is. So if you could explain to us, how are 3D images different from the normal photos, quote unquote, that we would see in Matrix, that you see in Matrix now?
So it's really, really simple. You see, it is A 3D is where you have an opportunity to interact with the photos, what you're viewing. For example, if I'm looking at still photo, I can see whatever is viewable area is of the photo, right? I cannot go. In these 3D ones, you can kind of circle around. You can actually go and look. So not only in the front of you, go around, look. You can look up, pan down. So when all these panning you are doing, those are the 3D tours. So you say, well, I have a tour, which is a 360 tour because the company's name is 360 Tours. That's not a tour. That's not a 360 tour. If it have that characteristic, then we put that icon on your listings. And by the way, that gives a lot of users will click on that knowing that it have a 3D tour. So it's something great to have. And this is where we went in and we said, look, why don't we help our members with this need, because the experience what consumer are getting with these 3D photos is remarkable. It's very, it's very immersive experience. You are inside and doing that. So what we said, look, how we can do that it can make it easy for them. So you buy the Ricoh camera. We are working on an app. Within 2 weeks, we will have an app come to the members to test that, which will be an app which will allow you to use Media Uploader app, which is a new app which we are launching, and interact with that camera and take 360 photos. So one of the person asked me about this, when you are doing the 360 photo, what about still photo? Do I still have to do the still photo? So what we are doing is right now, you do a 360, and then from the 360, we will create 50 images for you. Okay, and it will be something that you can actually say, okay, as you are scrolling to the left or the right, up or down, then we will take a snapshot. And you can take a snapshot at that time, it will become like a still photo.
Okay.
So that's something we are working on. But that way, that meets your need of the requirement to put the 50 photos inside Matrix and have a 3D gallery.
Very good.
On hr.com. So it's a win-win in that case.
Okay. So just to clarify, because I have seen this question a lot, can members use other cameras other than the Ricoh Theta V that we are selling in our HAR Supercenter?
Yeah. So it's absolutely, we are hardware agnostic as far as it goes to creating the 3D gallery. So it is available today. If you go and listing my listings, and there's a button says 3D gallery, you go in and you can actually create a 3D gallery with those photos. What you have to do is just upload those photos at the 3D gallery, and they have to be a certain specification. And once that is, it uploads, and you will have a gallery right away. And it will be, and the beauty of that is you don't need hosting for it. When you create those galleries, those will become part of the listing. HR host it for you at no cost. But those will be a 3D galleries you will have.
Okay, very good. So one more thing you're working on is the Media Uploader app, correct? What is that, and when will that be available?
So Media Uploader app have so we started with Media Uploader having 3 components, right? You can actually add photos to your listings, remove photos, and do the whole photo management, order them, and all of that inside Matrix using that. Okay, but it will be just ease of, quite easy for you to do that. That's one part of that. Second is you have video. You took a video. You want to upload that video. Okay, that's another one. Right, you can do that. Third one is, so you upload the video to the listing, right? And the third one is that you actually do an audio tour. So you can have an audio tour, and that's just a new way how people engage with podcasts and all of them. They can listen all the information about that property for you. And so now these were the three things in the app, in the Media Uploader app. Now we added the fourth thing, which is the 3D, which will interact with the Ricoh camera.
Very good. So we did have a couple questions. There are a lot of members asking in different ways. They're asking about ways to not be on camera for the virtual open house and the virtual showing.
Absolutely.
You know, so it's completely up to you. We might need to do a quick crash course on a Member Focus Monday soon about getting comfortable on camera. But there are a lot of members asking just about that. So we can always address that too. But I think, you know, one of the best practices, though, your clients and customers want to see you and hear from you, correct? I mean, that's the point of video, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It is. But at the same time, I do understand that people are, we are, not you, I mean, you know, some of us are. So, but in that case, you really don't need to. You can start directly into that. Hey, let me show you the outside. You can, you know, you can have a greeting and go through that. It's not required to do that. But if you want to give like a really HD TV type of experience which people love, hey, let me go through, show you the house. And again, everyone have different personalities. Whatever suits your personality, you should do that. But definitely, the more interpersonal you are, they see your face, they see you here. I mean, that's, to me, it's really very powerful. That you know, and that give me a lot of other clues. You know, how you are as a person when working. So people wanted to work with people who are like them, you know. So you know, people want positivity, and everybody think great about themselves, right?
Yeah.
So
okay. And Danny Pham said, take the HAR SMP class. I could not agree more. So Jenny asked a question. So with the 360 camera, would this eliminate the need for a photographer?
It will.
Okay.
But this is why, again, there are different type of people who are doing this. Like, for example, TK Images. I mean, it's just not about the camera. It's all about service as well. They go there, they take those photos. They are professional. They bring it back. They do a lot of work on Photoshop and other things to kind of make it look good. And again, so definitely their level of services. But one thing which is very promising, which was never there before, if I go take pictures from iPhone, that's one thing, right? But because they are taking this, Ricoh is taking like a 360, really that's the best way. And these are 4K cameras. Quality is really powerful and remarkable. And you are not taking a photo. You are actually just putting the monopod in the middle of the room and setting it up and just pressing a button. The camera will do everything.
That's wonderful.
So it's just cannot be easier than so. If you are someone who like to do that, which I think it's very simple, one should try and do that. It's a cost saving for you. It is a better experience for consumers, more engagement, and more leads to you. Just because it is very good way to show the properties.
Okay, very good. Couple other questions, if we can get just a quick yes and no, because I know we are over our time now. Oscar asked, is there a monthly subscription fee for hosting Ricoh tours? Their website implies the camera is a fee and then there's a subscription.
So Ricoh sells the subscription and the camera. What we have done, and thanks to Renee and some of the technology advisory members who kind of also try to do how they can actually work with Ricoh. So we are now taking orders for Ricoh cameras, and I'm sure you can tell them about that. But Renee have worked with a deal with them where they are giving us a discount. That discount is only available to our members. You have to log in, and we are doing a whole package that you can get the whole package. That includes the camera, the case, and the monopod. All that is going to be available.
Very good.
To use. And subscription, which is the hosting part, you don't need to. We'll host it for you.
Right.
So
that's wonderful. And if you weren't aware, we are selling or pre-orders for the Ricoh camera in our Super Center. You can shop that online. It's just store.har.com. Store.har.com is where you can shop the Super Center online. So question from Sean Jones: will the 3D virtual tours be hosted by HAR automatically and feed into the listing on Zillow?
So we are putting that inside the matrix. So that will be part of a link which will go out to all IDX provider. That includes Redfin, that includes, Redfin is a brokerage, Zillow, Homes.com, Realtor.com, all the sites will get that link.
Very good. And I think that answers Nancy's question as well. She was looking for it in Matrix. All right. So a couple other questions, and I'll probably ask you, Taqi, and maybe some of your staff to go in and to the posts on here after we're done and maybe answer some of the individual questions. People asking about suggestions for a tripod or a selfie stick or things like that. A lot of that will be covered in the materials that we're creating for you, best practices. We encourage you to use maybe a stabilizer, but of some kind. But again, we'll give you guys some options on best practices for that.
Yeah, that's great. That's great.
Okay, so, I see two people in a row asked this question. Is the whole package available for pre-order?
Yeah, I think so, right?
It's just the camera that's available for pre-order. There are a few options on the accessories, I believe. So we wanted to allow our members to pick and choose for themselves on that. But I think we could probably provide some links for them.
That'd be great.
Yeah. Okay. Will HAR be hosting even if you don't buy the camera through HAR?
Yeah.
Of course we will. Yes.
You can go ahead and do that, yeah.
All right. And how long does it take to receive the Rico? I know that they were on back order, but we were expecting availability, I believe, sometime this week. Is that correct, Taqi?
That's what I heard in the meeting last time.
Yes.
That they order like in the group of hundreds, and the first one already, I think, sold out. And they have now put another order as well. So this is a hot product. A lot of agents are using across the country. And definitely, not only we are trying to make it available for our members, but also getting them a discount at rate. So, which is about a 15% lesser than what you would pay if you just go by yourself.
Very good. And I see Rhonda provided a link for some of our members. Thank you for doing that, Rhonda. Okay, so Taqi, just final thoughts. Do you have any suggestions for our members, advice for our members, anything that you want to share?
So definitely, in the time we are in, take advantage of that. There's a great training which is available. So if you're not done the platinum training, do that. Many members are platinum but not taking training, and that hurts. Okay, because really, you should take advantage of that. Then also take advantage of the platform HAR have built. People are asking questions. You can go answer questions on that. People are. You can go and add review about neighborhood. Use your time effectively. Say, look, this is the time I'm going to spend these couple of hours just putting my name out. I'm going to go to a neighborhood, for example, on har.com. If you type any neighborhood, there's a section where you can go and put reviews. Put reviews of that. You can put reviews about schools. Great school, homes are awesome, around it. Call me if you need. So any type of things, get your name out, So really, and that's something have to be done every day, because the more you can start with your farm area, go that route and do that. And honestly, one of the things which I think it'll be awesome to do is do neighborhood videos. Create neighborhood videos if there's nobody on the road. So perfect time to go and say, let me show you how the neighborhood is. So really, and again, virtual open houses, if you can, do as many as possible. We're going to promote that on har.com. And so when people will search for 77027, for example, if your property is there, your open house will come. We'll tell, hey, here's the open houses which are in this area. So
very good. So really quick, just to recap, what are the dates that all of these things will be available? So virtual open house.
So virtual open house is by the end of this week. We should have a version available for everyone.
Awesome. And virtual showings?
Virtual showing is something which will come after. That's going to happen next week. But in our development queue, we have given more precedence to the 360 cameras. Because see, you can do sort of a one-on-one right now If you want to do with someone, you can do with the FaceTime, you can do with WhatsApp, you can do different one. You can do Facebook Messenger. So you can kind of do that in a way. You can do that. Of course, we don't recommend it because nothing is logged. If you do it with the FaceTime, you know, you cannot go back and say, hey, can you show me how many property did I show to showings I did it for this customer of mine? Well, in our system, everything will be logged. So if you did a showing for this person, because you're going to forget, but the system will always record it. So you know, hey, in the services provided to that customer in your CRM, you will have that, hey, showed 5 houses.
Mm-hmm. Very good.
Yeah.
Okay, and the 3D view, what is the date for that?
So 3D is already there.
Mm-hmm.
So first of all, if you have pictures with Matterport or Zillow 3D,
you can already do that.
It's already there. You can go and look at 3D gallery to create with your existing photos. You can do that now by going to My Listings and click on 3D gallery. You can do that today.
Okay.
And there's one which I mentioned to you about Ricoh camera and integration with that. That's happening in 2 weeks. We're going to be working on that, but developing that. But just to let you know, if you have a camera already, you should go and create galleries right away. You don't need to wait for the app.
Very good. And
eventually, the app just make it easier for you to do that. But if you already have it, please go and use it. Doesn't cost you anything. Takes really Lee, who's a developer, done an amazing job on how to make it easy for members to do that. Him and Ivans, these are two developers who work on this. An amazing job. You should go and check it out.
Very good. Cindy asked this question. Can we post a 3D photo and use that for the open house and talk the consumer through it? So she's thinking of using the 3D photos in place of the video, is the way I'm understanding.
Well, this is again, it's not a virtual open house. Mm-hmm. So again, we do not want to mix oranges and apples, because just remember, there's a consumer on the other side who would have expectations. So if the expectation is this is a virtual open house, just like I go in, because person may say, can you show me the backyard, please? What about the school? So a bunch of other things. Yeah, you can do that like this, but really it's not a virtual open house. You can call it collaboration or whatever, but it's really not an open house, virtual open house.
Okay. Deborah asked, will virtual showings be logged in our stats? They will be.
Absolutely. Yes. Absolutely.
And David said he doesn't see a pickup option for the 3D camera. We will take a look at that right after this is over, David, and reach out to you, but that should be available because our Super Center is doing pickup Monday through Friday, 11 to 1.
Yeah, and that's a great service which Dennis is providing. So you can just come to HR, pick it up, and go.
Very good. Ruby asked, is there a cheaper version of the camera? Like we said, there are other cameras. This is the one that we're recommending for our members. And as Taqi mentioned, we do have a discounted rate for our members on our Super Center.
Yeah, because again, there are differences, but we asked them, Renee asked them the question about, if the agent buy now, is it going to obsolete? So they said, look, the shelf life is about 18 months on these. I personally think it's longer because, 4K image, it's a very, very high-end picture. So, it's not going to be, even though if you have 8K, which some of the TVs are and some of the displays are, but again, 4K still is remarkably photos and all of that. So I personally think you should go with something. If you want to go a little bit cheaper, you can. But I'm just saying to you, in the grand scheme of things, and the money you're going to save with this and the engagement you will do, I think it's worth it.
Very good. Really quick, if you could answer this again, because several members have asked, and I know you answered it earlier, but where can we upload the 3D photos to our listings?
You go right now to My Listing, search that inside the members only area, and there will be a link there's a button there, say Actions, that have bunch of other things you can do to property, right? One of the things you will notice that it has, which is 3D gallery. You click on that and boom, it will be there. So in Matrix right now, it supports 2 URLs, right? You can put 2 URLs for virtual one. virtual tour 1, virtual tour 2. And again, so what we are doing it now displaying both of them on HR.com. So if you have two tours, let's suppose one is a Matterport and the other one was a slideshow type of tour. So we support both of them. But do not put the video in there because that's confused. So when we display to user, we will say it's a virtual tour, but it's, and again, it's a video. So you rather use the video link. That way user, when they come, they see, hey, there's a video I can watch. So because we're going to show the label for them to click watch video, which is much more attractive or more have a chances of the user will click that than just to have the word virtual tour.
Very good. And I saw Raquel ask this question, and a few others did. Can we share the camera with other agents? Yes, it would be your property, so yes, you can.
Yeah. And again, something for brokers to think about is if there are a lot of brokers offer many tools and training and all of them. One of the services this could be that they can provide to their agents is hey, we have a camera that you
yeah.
It's just like a yard sign, right?
Yeah.
It's or things. But if you want to own your own, so you don't have to go to the office to pick it up, somebody else take it, they did not charge it, a bunch of other things, just buy your own, for use, for personal use or business.
And if you're sharing, make sure you wipe it down and disinfect it. Well, Taqi, this has been wonderful. Thank you so much. I do want to remind everyone that today's Member Focus Monday was sponsored by Energy Ogre. I do just have a quick little message from them that we're going to watch before we sign off.
That's right.
Paying too much for electricity? Save time, save money, save hassles. Go with the Ogre and save up to 40%. EnergyOgre.com. We find the best deals. Period.
So thank you again to Energy Ogre. And Taqi, also, Energy Ogre is on our listings on HR.com.
It's an amazing company. I mean, there's no comparable to them. It's not ready to go and do that.
Yeah.
And really, you can actually see one thing which I like about their one is that they will tell you that, hey, stay with your current provider or switch to a different one.
Yes.
So that is, I mean, really, really, they give you option to see, if your current provider is doing great, stay with them. So that's a really good, rather than saying, hey, I wanted to go and change it, you have to change it. So I really think it's a good service.
Absolutely, I do too. And again, with all of us home, using up this electricity, kids are home, now is a good time to check to see if you are overpaying. So check out EnergyOgre.com. And you'll be able to use their calculator on their website. Also, again, it's on the HR.com listing. So go look at your listings and you will see that energy calculator there. David said that he uses Energy Ogre and they're awesome. They have saved him tons of money. So we're happy to hear that, David. All right, well, that is it for this Member Focus Monday. Again, Taqi, thank you so much for joining us.
Christina, thank you so much for this opportunity, and I thank everyone for joining. Again, they can send me an email if they have any question. It's Taqi@hr.com, and it was a pleasure being here.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, and we'll see you all next Monday at 9 a.m. Bye-bye.